All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Janet Jackson, When I Think of You. Something very interesting happens, as it always does. The junior senator from South Carolina, Tim Scott, who is very reliable to Republicans. Almost every time somebody says something incendiary or racist, he is a reliable advocate. He's Donald Trump's chief black explainer-in-chief. That's what he does. If Donald Trump says something incendiary or racist, he didn't mean it, and I'll have to talk to him about it, and we'll see. He makes Donald Trump's words comfortable, more palatable. As a matter of fact, he said recently, I think in the last day or so, that woke supremacy is more dangerous than white supremacy. A black man says being aware is more dangerous than a system that was inherently built on superiority. Matter of fact, he is the junior senator for South Carolina, the senior senator, Lindsey Graham, when he was running for re-election. He said out of his mouth, a black person can go anywhere they want to in South Carolina as long as they're conservative, obedient. Is white supremacy, woke supremacy is a new thing. I tell you what. You'd have to go back. You can only go back a year or two to find the phrase woke. You'd have to go back from the inception of our country to find the word white supremacy. White supremacy is permeated every single aspect of our society. It is pervasive everywhere. Everything that has a system was virtually built by white supremacy. The judicial system, white supremacy. The educational system, white supremacy. The housing system, white supremacy. Banking, white supremacy. Medicine, white supremacy. In this country, it is the bedrock of which this nation is built. And he is forwarding the idea that being awareness of that, because the only way you refute anything is to bring light, to wake up, to be aware, to awake from slumber. Almost any time you want somebody to have a difference of opinion or a different viewpoint, you try to make them aware of other things. That's what being awoke is. In everything, like NBC, doom, 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 the more you know. Well, the more you know, the more that you see how insidious white supremacy has been, not woke supremacy has been, in every aspect of our lives. The only way we have an opportunity, the only chance we have is to change it. Is to have people look and see, because white supremacy needs a couple of things: willing participants and blind ones, people who will not see. And they serve the same purpose, much like Tim Scott does right now. Why are we here as a country? Why are we talking about reparations? Is it because of woke supremacy or white supremacy? Why were his ancestors, where theirs was and mine were ours were? Why are black people arguing about being repatriated? Why? Is that because of woke supremacy or white supremacy? As a matter of fact, one of the things white supremacy did immediately is make sure black people couldn't gather in numbers or learn. They knew that the more they knew, the more dangerous that would be. Right now, after the election, what has happened? 43 states have enacted laws to make it harder for black and brown people to vote. Is that because of woke supremacy or white supremacy? When Tim Scott first became a senator, he was stopped 6 times in D.C. Was that because of woke supremacy or white supremacy? When the COVID ravaged our communities, communities of color, it just decimated our communities. Was that because of woke supremacy or white supremacy? Was it because of less or more? Right now, every single system in the United States of America is based on white supremacy, not knowing things, not illumination, not knowledge, but white supremacy. The idea that I am superior to you because I was born. Your God believes, your Jesus was painted to look like a white guy because of why? Woke supremacy or white supremacy? It's because we want to be aware or blind. Because white supremacy needs blindness. It needs it. It needs to have it. It needs to fester in dark. It grows in dark, almost like every evil thing does. One of the greatest things it ever did is convince people it did not exist, that they were naturally superior, and these other people, they're inferior, and that is why things happen to them like that. When you look at the things that happen, when buildings get blew up, or people are shot down in the streets because of the color of their skin, or they can't vote, or they can't marry, or they can't live a place, or they can't have a job, was that because of woke supremacy or white supremacy? Honestly, how does a black man out of his mouth say being aware is worse than the system of white supremacy? The only reason that he is a senator from South Carolina, he was appointed because they knew that he was comfortable. They knew that he would be an accomplice. They knew that he would be the wind beneath their wings. In order for a system to be dismantled, in order for a system to be to be mitigated, it has to be looked at. You have to wake up. You have to awaken. You have to leave the slumber alone. And this white supremacy is no more or less than a virus. And virus mutates and they change and they find willing hosts. And the only way they can survive is if they find willing hosts. And white supremacy is going to be alive and well because they have found more than a willing host in Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina. That's a low note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.